This segment of Delmarva Life is brought to you by your local York and LG dealers.
With the hot temperatures we've had this summer all the way up through yesterday, as a matter of fact, many of our home cooling systems have been working hard to keep us comfortable.
But the cooler weather is moving in. Just take a look at the temperatures for this weekend, and that means the heat will soon be turned on. Well, you want to make sure your HVAC system is ready to handle the job. Brian Spires finds out what a fall tune-up is all about.
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, making sure your heating and cooling system is in perfect working order comes down to one word: maintenance. And joining me now to talk all about that is Andy Cannon, who is the sales manager for the George Sherman Corporation. So Andy, the first thing, why is it so important for people to have their heating and cooling systems looked at, especially this time of year?
Well, Dean Sherman and I were just talking the other day about how we can get people to relate to understanding the importance of having your system maintained. And you take a look at your relationship with your doctor. As a child, you know, typically the only time you go to your doctor is if you're really sick or if you have a broken leg or arm. Well, as you get older, you start maintaining your body and wanting to worry about your health, and you have regular visits with your doctor. And that's the same thing you want to do with your heating and air conditioning system.
You know, people may say, I don't have any problems with my heating and cooling system. It's working just fine. But you guys will come out and pay attention to specific areas that the average homeowner wouldn't think to look at or even know there's a problem with.
That's right. Typically, we'll start off with looking at the thermostat. There's various types out there, from just a basic thermostat to a 5- and 7-day programmable thermostats, all the way up to Wi-Fi, where you need a portal now in order to maintain your system. We come out and look at those things, make sure they're maintaining the desired temperature of the home. From that, we'll look at the electrical connections, both inside and out. One big failure that we have is a result of a wire grounding and messing up the compressor, and the compressor is very costly to replace. Typical replacement is anywhere from $1,500 to $1,800, and when you're spending that kind of money, you may want to start looking at upgrading to a more efficient system. But the key to it is maintaining it properly. We come out twice a year, in the spring and in the fall, and again, that relationship with the homeowner, get a feel for what they have in their home.
It's very important. We should also say you check the refrigerant levels as well.
Yeah, the refrigerant levels are very important, making sure that it's charged properly. If we come out to a home for the first time and we find that we're adding refrigerant, we may come back a week later, and if it's still low or is it lost again, then we start looking for a leak, and again, that could be a coil indoor or outdoor, either one. Another thing that we look at is condensate drains. Very important. People are very concerned about moisture and water in their homes. Could directly be a result of a furnace being up in an attic or the condensate pan being clogged, drain being clogged, and you come home to water damage.
So obviously a lot of different things you look at that are very important. The other thing too, and we say this all the time, but it bears reminding for people, the air filter. How often should it be changed?
Well, a 1-inch air filter should be changed at least once a month. Sometimes people will have them centrally located in their home, or with the return air duct, or at the unit in the return. Again, when we come out and do the annual maintenance, or the maintenance twice a year, we'll change those. But the homeowner should be changing those every month, depending on the type of system that they have. They can upgrade to a media filter, which then they only have to change it once a season. They do a much better job with air quality and increase the comfort level of the home.
So pay attention to the air filter. The other thing you guys will look at is the ductwork in the house. Why is that?
Ductwork is very important. The national average is most homes lose 20% of their airflow just as a result of duct leakage. And when you use the analogy of a doctor, that's your main artery. You want to make sure that that's completely sealed. You can use mastic. We go back and not only wrap the insulation, we also look at all the joints and make sure that they're sealed properly using foil tape or a mastic sealant, one or the other. We go to a lot of homes where, again, you can spend the time and energy and resources on upgrading your system, but if the ductwork isn't sealed properly, you're still not going to see a decrease in your energy levels or increase in your comfort level of your home. So it's very important that you maintain and make sure that ductwork is inspected. We come out and do an assessment, and we'll actually make the repairs to the ductwork and maintain the system.
So a lot of things to pay attention to, especially this time of year.
Correct.
All right, Andy, thank you very much. We appreciate it. A lot of good information. And of course, if you would like more information on the George Sherman Corporation, all you have to do is go to our website, delmarvalife.com.
As we just heard, Brian and Andy mention a fall tune-up includes making sure your ductwork is sealed properly.
And as we get ready to close up the house in preparation for winter, you might be planning on a really thorough cleaning, including the air ducts. Well, that sounds logical. Surely they get dirty and they need to be cleaned, right? At least occasionally. But really, is there any value in cleaning your home's air ducts? Well, in today's Angie's List report, what you need to know before making a decision.
Cigarette smoke, pet hair and dander, excessive dust, water contamination, home remodeling, all are allergens and all can get clogged in your air ducts, something homeowner Adam Kerterman knows all too well.
We did a lot of our own drywall work and created a lot of drywall dust, and it didn't really occur to me that even though we vacuumed it all up, that there might be still some that got sucked into the system.
Ketterman says as a result, he suffered from a nagging dry cough, so he scheduled an air duct cleaning. And while the EPA says there's no scientific evidence that regular duct cleaning improves air quality, some people say that when they have their ducts cleaned, they experience fewer allergy symptoms and cleaner air.
I did feel a lot better physically right after the duct cleaning, like within 2-3 days. I noticed it was like flipping a switch. So I was kind of excited about that.
According to experts, having your air ducts cleaned can improve air circulation, give you better energy savings, improve your system's performance, and make breathing easier. So how do you know if you need your air ducts to be cleaned?
Well, one of the easiest ways to find out is to take the vent cover off, stick a camera phone down there and take a picture. They're going to be able to see down the duct. Another sign is if the house is dusty a day or two after cleaning the house.
Okay, so the next question is, how often should you get it done? Expert recommendations vary, but for the most part, they all agree that at least once every 3 to 5 years should have you breathing easier in no time. Well, still ahead on Delmarva Life, they're musicians who perform a wide variety of genres. The band Monkey Paw takes the Delmarva Life stage.
And we continue to connect you with pets here on Delmarva looking for a home. We'll introduce you to a few more of them. Delmarva Life